Slovenia is a country that punches well above its weight in terms of natural beauty and standard of living, but what about the important things like stadiums? What are their stadiums like? Let's find out. Here are the PrvaLiga stadiums. Sportni Park Alumni. As you'll see throughout the video, this is a league of huge contrasts. We will see some world-class stadiums later on, but the stadium that we see here is a one-stand wonder, with a capacity of barely over 1,000. What it does have going for it is the location. It backs onto a forest, which makes for a beautiful setting. Sportni Park Šiška. Well, we have stepped up a little bit. This one technically has 2 stands, albeit a very basic uncovered stand over on the eastern side of the ground. Despite being the oldest ground in the league, it's looking pretty tidy. You may have noticed the track. Well, you can actually hire the ground and the athletics facilities out for yourself. Shot put is only €15 an hour, so if you get a kick out of throwing a heavy steel ball as far as you can, why? Stadion Stajela. We finally have a 4-sided stadium, although it wasn't always like that. They started with just the main stand in 2003. Then over the next few years they added 3 more, each of which is different from the rest. 2 of the stands are uncovered and were built into a grass embankment. That's kinda cool. The other 2 are more conventional, although there is an interesting looking office building that separates the 2. Sportni Park Domžela. Well, before we've even got inside, I've noticed one interesting feature. A wooden roof, which is a nice touch, even though it's not looking like it's in the best condition. This ground has been shared by 2 clubs, Radomlje and Domžela. I wonder if you can guess which club has played at Stadion Domžela for longer. It's Domžela. There's no undersoil heating by the looks of it, but they like ice hockey in Slovenia, so that's all good. Instead of postponing a match, just play some ice hockey instead. Stadion Bonifica. This ground was originally opened in 1948 with help from volunteer workers and with materials salvaged from a recently demolished prison, but it was reconstructed in 2010 in a lot more professional manner. It now has a rather clean, modern design throughout. Well, not throughout, because 2 sides are bordered by these permanent, temporary stands without a roof. I guess they're reserved for the away supporters. Ljudski Vrt. Now this is a remarkable stadium. Firstly, the main stand, consisting of a distinctive concrete arch, dates back to the early 1960s and is actually protected from demolition by a heritage listing, or the Slovenian equivalent. They renovated that stand just a couple of years ago, changing up the seats to match the rest of the stadium in the process. Speaking of the rest of the stadium, it was added in the mid-2000s, and I've got to say, they did a good job. The 3 newer stands complement the iconic arch perfectly. Mestni Stadion Fazaneria. I think this has bested the first one we saw when it comes to the amount of trees. They're almost encroaching onto the stadium itself. Once more, it just recently underwent a renovation. This one though was even more superficial, replacing seats, floodlights, stuff like that. Most of the capacity is still coming from this corner stand, I guess you'd call it, even though it covers much more than just the corner itself. Stadion Stožice. Oddly enough, this stadium opened with a match between Slovenia and my own country, Australia. The result was, the result was irrelevant. Nobody cares about friendlies anyway. This place gets the nickname of the Crater, which is not only due to its sunken nature, but also the organic matter up there on the roof certainly adds to the illusion. It's probably just as interesting on the inside. I particularly like the underside of the roof, which reminds me of one of these retro futuristic grid landscape things. But yeah, this is a really cool stadium. Sportni Center Rogaška Slatina. This is comfortably the smallest stadium in the league. In fact, it's almost hard to believe that it is in the same league as the last one. But to be fair, the one and only stand at this ground is looking pretty good. Spectacular, you might say. No, not quite. So, there you have it. As for my favourite, well, it was a toss-up between two, but I've got to go for the crater. A unique design inside and out. Consider subscribing if you're new, and as always, thanks for watching, have a good one.